Civil War, directed by Alex Garland, guys. What a movie.
Wow.
Now, I like Alex Garland. Obviously, the movies they have here, I all liked. 20 Days Later, Ex Machina, Bearded Outlaw just disappeared. He died. Annihilation was okay, but I didn't see Men. And apparently most people hated Men.
Can confirm.
So
Yeah.
I was going into this like, how am I going to feel about this one? I saw it last night, and I got to say, it was very, very good. Gil, what did not Gil, going down the list. Joey, what did you think?
Gil, get your turn. Don't worry. I'm not into war movies. Not that they scare me, but you know, if I was less manly, they would scare me. But I did like the fact that they told the story through the eyes of like the press, and that was really cool. Like the scene with, I don't know if this isn't a spoiler. It was like the scene where like the press guy steps over the dead body to get the shot. Like it just tells a really powerful story, and I really dig that. And like no matter what side you're on, the whole situation is fucked. And I think this movie did a great job like explaining that. Because a lot of war movies, I haven't seen a lot of them, but the ones that I have seen, they tell the side of one side and that's it. They don't even mention the other side. So I like that movie, or this movie did that.
I think Gil, I think I talked about this with you and Adam on the stream.
Yeah, that's right.
But like one of my favorite war movies is Tora Tora Tora, because it was made by the Japanese and American, so it explored like both sides of that whole thing. So yeah, it was kind of cool to see. Although I did see like reviewers complaining that there were no bad guys, like they didn't know who to root for and who not to root for. Because before this, a bunch of people I know were like, this is what's going to happen in the next election. And then the movie came out. They're like, I'm not sure if he was the good guy or the bad guy. I don't know how to feel about this. Gil, how did you feel about Civil War? I know you did a whole video on it. Please spoil everything you said in the video right now. Actually, let's just play it right now.
All right, everyone just sit down for the next 25 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I echo everything both of you said. I think just on a plot level, it did a great job setting up the characters. They feel real. They're easy to empathize with, even though they're very flawed. And I think part of what Alex Garland was trying to do with this movie is the press, it might be shocking to hear this, are pretty demonized at the moment in a lot of places and in a lot of ways. So he wasn't trying to idealize them, but he was trying to humanize them. And I think he did a really good job at that. I think Kirsten Dunst's character is really interesting because she's super jaded. She has this existential crisis of doing a very dangerous job, but she's not really sure she's making a difference or accomplishing any of the things she wanted to accomplish. Probably the sort of things that Jessie, Cailee Spaeney's character, with her youthful optimism, thinks she's going to accomplish. Yeah. And I think with a character like that, it's hard to... Those are interesting characters, but when someone's just miserable, existential crisis, you need a counterbalance. And I think Sammy, Joel, Jessie were great counterbalances and added humor to the movie. So, grounded movie, characters that are easy to empathize with, and then it's a pretty simple story. It's a road trip movie where every stop offers either something very suspenseful or tense or some development of their characters. And then, of course, the whole DC sequence is just horrible and riveting, and just... I almost feel like whenever I talk about this movie, my first temptation is to jump right into like defending it, just because the comment section on my video, which talks about kind of the underlying meaning of the movie, it's so much of the criticism is that it has nothing to say, which I so strongly disagree with. But I won't go into all that. I got a whole video on it. Just overall, I'd say I really enjoyed the movie on a plot level, and I think it did have some important, interesting ideas that you could have a conversation about.
Yeah, and Gil, there's a lot of stuff I want to say about this movie, and by stuff I mean jokes. But you know, once you get a channel deleted, you got to play it safe. Yeah. So the story, I had a really good intro for this movie, and I'm just like, yeah, you know what? Let's wait on that. But basically, if you haven't like seen any of the ads or anything, the story is like America's at a civil war. There's the Western forces, the Florida Alliance. Then there's the Republic. What is it? It's Texas and California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they not the Western forces? For a minute, I thought they were the Western forces, but I guess they're not.
No.
And then the Loyalist states, which were the original America. I'm looking at a map right now. So like I'm guessing the president kind of took over power. They leave you little kernels of like what happened to cause this. And he's talking, they mentioned that it's like his third term. He was bombing people. We're not sure how far in the future this is. At one point, the one guy, so like you said, it stars Kirsten Dunst and a guy I've never seen before, a girl from that Craft movie that the one fan, AJ Wizzle, who's in the chat, keeps sending me. Oh, God damn it. Sorry. I just looked. I know we're not at super chats, but I just looked at his super chat. Tony, if you enjoyed Kaylee Spanning's performance in Civil War, you'll love her in a previous Blumhouse movie I've sent you a copy of. Yep. Because I was looking up what the actors were in, and I didn't recognize most of them, but I saw her. I saw Craft Legacy. I'm like, oh, God damn it. And, of course, Thufir from Dune 1, but not Part 2. They cut him out of Part 2, which really upset us. Thoof Troop. Hashtag Thoof Troop. Am I right?
That's right.
Anyway, they're all very good. They're trying to get to DC. Well, one of them is trying to get to Charlottesville. They all want to get to DC. This guy wants to like interview the president, but they're like, no, they all get shot. Like the press is like banned in the Loyalist states. Like, no, you will be killed. Do not go there. And then for like one tense scene, which by the way, I almost missed part of because I really needed to pee. Jesse Plemons shows up. I walked in and the scene had like just started. I'm like, oh, thank God, I almost missed the scene everyone is talking about. And this is where it gets all muddy because there are some like legit armies in the movie, but then there's people like him and then those snipers at one point where it doesn't seem like they belong to any real army. They're just doing their own thing.
Yeah, that's what I picked up. I thought they were just like fucking vigilantes or like anarchists or something.
Yeah, I think some of it too is it's this scenario when there's so much chaos. This is what gives a chance for extremists to start carrying out the whatever they have in mind. Like, what kind of American are you?
Yeah. I honestly, I could have gotten out of that situation. I would have been like, hey man, your glasses are really cool. Like that guy just wants a compliment on his glasses. And the fact that none of them went, hey, I just want you to know, I really like your glasses. He would have been like, oh, thanks. I wore them. No one's commented on them. You can go. So yeah, it's a very thought-provoking film. It's not a very hopeful film, I guess. It's got, without spoiling too much, it's got a real downer ending. But an exciting action sequence at the end, the whole DC thing. Although my problem, again, without spoiling too much, look, I don't know if the real president has a panic room underground bunker, but I assume the president in this movie would have one. So at the end, when he just has like unarmored Secret Service agents, he's just in the regular Oval Office. I'm like, I feel like in the universe of this movie, he would have been out of there months before this even happened.
I did have the same thought. I was like, why is he just like, especially what little we know of his personality, I feel like he would have been hiding in a hole for the last like 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's again, it's got like really, really tense scenes. Like there's, I won't say who, but there was one character, the way they were filming that whole end sequence, I'm like, well, they're obviously going to die. They will obviously die. And then it kind of like flipped it. I'm like, oh shit. But yeah, it was just a good time from our boy, Alex Garland, who just said he didn't want to direct movies anymore. So that's rough.
Still writing movies, though.
Still writing. I know they're doing 28 years later.
The first of a new trilogy.
Oh, God damn it!
And they announced the director for the second movie in that trilogy. I think it's the person who directed The Marvels.
What?
Yeah, that's right. God. So that kind of
wait. She also did the Candyman remake, which
that's right. That's right.
Which wasn't that good. I mean, it was okay. It was okay.
Yeah, the first one, so 28 years later, written by Alex Garland, directed by Danny Boyle. That's awesome. Yes. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Why trilogy? Just make a good movie. Just make one movie. And then see if people like
it. Words of wisdom right there.
God damn it, I hate them. We got to make a trilogy. No, just make one, see how it does.
You don't want the 28 years later cinematic universe?
No! Where are they going to go from there? 28 decades later?
28 million years later.
No, you know what they're going to do? They're going to like, and now we'll do a prequel called 28 months later because we didn't get a chance to do that. I'm like, ah.
And then they'll do like the Quiet Place day one, 28 minutes later.
Yeah.
See the whole beginning of it.
Exactly.
But now I have to watch Quiet Place Part 2 because I've never seen it, and I saw there's a new one. There's a cool theater display for the new Quiet Place. I don't know if your theater has it, but it looks like you're entering a subway and it's got like a little TV screen. Cool. I took a video of it. I forgot to post it.
Cool.
But yeah, Civil War, a lot of memorable things. And I think we're all going to remember. Oh, wait, hold on. Before I get to my joke. So does anyone remember the Spirit Awards where Andy Samberg hosted and he made fun of indie films? And he made like a fake trailer, and it was about a girl who wants to roll her hand to the wind. And the whole joke is that like pretentious indie films all have this scene. I'm watching Civil War, and there's a legit scene where the girl's rolling her hand to the wind. You're like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, how do they not know? Go back and watch that. They uploaded it as its own thing. It's called Bottle Cap. And like, if you were watching like indie, like art house thing around that time, it's pretty good. But yes. The thing we will remember most from this film are these beautiful posters that everyone loved. Everyone loved these posters. Gil, what's your favorite thing about these posters?
Where were these posters? I keep seeing these articles where they're like AI generated posters. I'm like, they're in certain theaters.
You're telling me that car with 3 doors on one side is AI generated?
But I don't understand. I've never seen any of these, and they're saying it's in certain theaters. I'm like, who's putting up? Like, is it like a prank where somebody like me just printed out these posters? I'm just putting them up in select theaters. Like, all this is so vague. I've been skeptical about this story.
No, I think it was from A24, one of their social media accounts. I didn't see it in theaters, not my theaters. I think it was like posted on their socials, and then they got ripped apart for it.
like the giant like swan over there.
I don't know where that is. I'm assuming that's like a thing that's in a city. I don't know if that's like a swan boat. That looks like Florida on the left. I know that's Vegas because the Sphere. I think this is Chicago on the right, and people were pointing at like the buildings are in the wrong place. But I bet you that's going to be the last time we bring up AI on this show. Stay tuned for Late Night with the Devil coming up.